Coming up, it's a huge job preparing a gigantic stadium for the biggest game of the year. We'll have Super Bowl coverage. Plus, it's been a rough winter for drivers. How to stay safe in the snow. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm Tori Smith.
And I'm Matt Kienitz. Thanks for tuning in.
The big game between the Eagles and the Chiefs is just around the corner. And we have 5 sports reporters in the Phoenix area covering the run-up to Sunday's matchup.
NAZ Today's sports reporter Ava Nichols is in Glendale to begin our Super Bowl coverage.
I am at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, just days before kickoff between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Countless hours are put in to prepare the stadium for game day, which hosts thousands of fans. Director of Game Operations Phil Bogle has more.
You have, the people in the decor department that do a lot of the artwork that you guys see around the stadium and bring all of these vibrant colors, which is, incorporating Arizona and the look and feel of Arizona. There's a lot of power, that goes into this game. So they got to ramp up, the wireless infrastructure as well. And then you come down to the field surface, which is more my wheelhouse. We have a wonderful grass field here that's been grown for about a year now. So it takes about a year for this grass to mature to get it to, the condition that it is now.
Hundreds of employees have been working for nearly 2 months to perfect the stadium, down to each blade of grass. The green grass field is a scientific, calculated project. State Farm Stadium's grass field was harvested from a local sod farm about 3 weeks ago and transported and installed in the building. The field also has the capability to roll outside during the day for airflow and sun exposure. Nick Pappas, a NFL field surface director, collects data about the field to keep improving its condition for game day.
As a groundskeeper, what we're looking at is the actual metrics on the field. So we're looking at things like what's our height of cut, what's our soil moisture, how many moles of micromoles of light are we getting each day, what's our impact hardness, rotational resistance, things like that allow us to understand how the players are going to interact, and then it can make us make a little bit more of a database decision on what we need to do to it.
Ava Nichols, NAZ Today.
One of the biggest jobs facing workers at the Cardinal Stadium is feeding all of those fans. NAZ Today's Lindsay Ridgway tells us it's a monumental task.
Amongst all the planning that goes into the Super Bowl, the food is not always the first thing most people would think about. But executive chef with Craft Culinary Concepts, Sean Kavanaugh, says it's all they have thought about for months.
Much had our menus dialed in 6 months ago, and then it's just planning how to execute it and buying the equipment you need. It's one good thing about Super Bowls is you get some new cool stuff to work with because, you got to show off and impress people.
Chef Kavanaugh says that while not always achievable, they try to use as many local vendors as possible.
That makes the bratwurst for us. Some of the things, the Navajo land fry bread is, I got the mix and then made the fried bread, but the mix came from a company called Navajo Land up in the Four Corners area. Some of the salads, the produce we're using is from local farms. Arizona areas, as much as we can, we use it.
Lola, the owner of Lola's Tacos, is bringing a part of her hometown, Tijuana, Mexico, to State Farm Stadium.
Capital of tacos besides Mexico City, which most of my family is from. So I had to bring a little bit of that into here, and it was perfect because the tacos in the Southwest is like the staple of the Southwest area.
Lindsay Ridgway, NAZ Today.
We will have more Super Bowl coverage coming up in sports.
A 10-year-old girl is back in Flagstaff after surviving a drive-by shooting in Phoenix on Friday. Kaya Howell was shot along with 15-year-old Isaac Perez Grotto, who died a few days later. Police say Kaya was walking with her mom and sibling when the shooting took place. She sustained multiple injuries, including a fractured vertebrae. Her family has set up a GoFundMe page to help with the expenses.
Got a complaint or a concern to report to the city? Flagstaff has an online solution. The tool is called Request Tracker, and it's built into the city's website. Sarah Langley with the city says users can scroll down through lists of concerns until they find what they need.
So, for example, code compliance, flooding, trash, parks, streets, anything that the city is involved in generally has a section. And so you click on, what relates to your concern. That will take you to a page where you give a little brief introduction about the issue you're reporting and then your contact information.
Requests can take anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days to be completed. Don't use the site to report emergencies. Instead, dial 911.
Flagstaff had its third snowiest January this year, and while many had fun in the snow with families and friends, others were worried about driving in the ice and snow. Things have improved, but it is still important to know how to be safe on ice. Driving on snow and ice can be extremely dangerous, especially for those who do not have the proper vehicles for winter weather conditions. Arizona Department of Public Safety Sergeant James Karn says a lot goes into making the roads safe.
So when a winter storm comes, it can affect several things. So obviously we have to have ADOT come out to plow the roadways, so the roadways do become icy. But the biggest things that we see is that people are coming up to the north and they're not prepared to drive in the winter weather.
Karn says it is important to be prepared before driving. He says for both visitors and residents, make sure you check the road conditions and make sure that you have the necessary supplies in case you get stuck.
What we do recommend is that you try to avoid the area if you can. If you don't have to drive, then stay at your home or residence. But if you do have to travel, check az511.com for the most current road conditions. Make sure that your car has the necessary supplies, warm clothing, food, and things like that in case if you get stuck.
Karn says they see people making many mistakes while driving in these conditions, such as being too close to the cars and snowplows in front of them and going too fast.
Slow down. The biggest thing is slow down. Drive under the speed limit if you need to, based on the road conditions. Don't make any sudden movements while you're driving. Quick evasive actions and things like that. If your car's not equipped, you're going to have to gauge that, and if you don't feel that you're safe to drive, then don't drive.
Karn says that DPS patrols the roadways in order to help vehicles that are stranded or were in accidents. He says that one of the issues on the roads is black ice. Although ADOT clears the roads of snow, black ice still forms when it gets below freezing.
So black ice forms in certain areas, and one of those areas is bridges. So when you're going over a bridge, be careful and slow down. But it can go anywhere on the roadway.
Karn says that it is important to take caution when driving on the roads, and most importantly, slow down. Matt Kienitz, NAZ Today. To check for road conditions, you can visit az511.com.
Coming up, you may want to wait to file your taxes. Stay with us.
Well, Flagstaff, we will be seeing a warming trend going into this weekend, but don't be fooled. We still have a chance of snow on this Super Bowl Sunday. Stay tuned.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure
love.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Procrastination is usually a flaw that many of us share in common, but this time it actually might be a strength. According to the IRS, you might want to wait to file taxes because of all of those state check reliefs doled out in 2022. Last year, a total of 18 states handed out some sort of rebate, and the IRS isn't quite sure how to tax those on the federal level yet. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has more.
If you live in a state that issued some sort of rebate last year, experts say you should hold off on rushing to file your taxes. That's because the IRS is still scratching their heads over how to tax them. While the checks handed out by states likely won't be taxed at the state level, they may be subject to income tax at the federal level.
That the IRS is going state by state and looking at the details of these proposals or these, the details of these rebate checks and deciding whether they're taxable. And it's coming late in the process. That is the fundamental problem here.
At least 18 states issued a special payment of some kind in 2022. Jared Walksack from the Tax Foundation says they were for a variety of reasons.
Sometimes it's been about inflation, sometimes it's just the money. In a couple of states, it's been targeted, maybe for, say, individuals with children.
But what should you do if you already filed and you received one of those checks?
The standard way to approach this is an amended return, but don't do it yet because you want to wait to know what the IRS tells you to do. You don't want to do this 3 times.
With the ever-changing tax code, Walksack says there's another thing to look out for this year.
Be aware of the way that this post-pandemic era has changed how you live and work. Generally speaking, states can tax you where you live and where you earn income. This is the downside, the trade-off with the flexibility a lot of people have with remote work or flexible work arrangements, that they may owe taxes to multiple states.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back. My name is Michaela Richardson, and I will be your student forecaster on this Wednesday evening. Now, taking a look at our current temperatures, we do have that 46 degrees outside, but the wind chill is making it seem a little bit closer to 44. We have clear skies outside with that southwest wind coming in at about 5 miles per hour. Taking a look at our current satellite, we have no precipitation in northern Arizona, but don't be a little too confused because we have that white up there to represent the snow. And looking at our daily almanac, we do have that high of 46 degrees today, pretty on par with our average of 45 degrees, and nowhere near that high set in 1996 at 65 degrees. On today, for our low, we have a low of 12 degrees, kind of below that average of 19 degrees and a little bit too far away from our negative 17 record set in 1933. Taking a look at our precipitation, we have no inches of precipitation to report from yesterday, but we still are way above that average of 2.51 inches at 5.89 inches since January 1st. And we do have that sunrise coming in at 7:20 this morning. Our higher temperatures for today were 44 degrees at the Grand Canyon. Flagstaff, you were at 46 degrees. Phoenix, you're still warm with that 66 degrees. And Kingman, you're at that 61 degrees as well. Looking at tonight, we do have a forecast low of 12 degrees with mostly clear skies, and that sunset just a few minutes ago at 6:02 p.m. Looking into tomorrow, we do have clear and sunny skies along with Friday, and our forecast high at 34 degrees. Our sunrise will be at 7:19 a.m. tomorrow, and like you can see down here, we have that sunset at 6:03, which means summer is around the corner with those longer days and shorter nights. Taking a look at our forecast temperatures for tomorrow, Sedona, you will see a high of 49 with a low of 33, a high of 71 in Phoenix with a low of 42. You guys are staying warm down there. And a high of 49 with a low of 27 in Payson. Now, coming out to our Flagstaff extended Thursday and Friday, we will have some sunny skies with a high of 34 on Thursday and a high of 44 on Friday. Saturday, we're going to be jumping up to a high of 47 degrees with mostly cloudy skies and a low of 20 degrees. That low of 20 will continue into Sunday with that high of 43. And we do have a 20% chance of showers, so I would stick with that and make sure your Super Bowl Sunday is clear. And Monday, we also have that sunny sky back at 44 degrees as our high and 20 degrees as our low. Now that's all I have for you right now. Stay tuned after the break for more Super Bowl coverage.
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. My name is Lindsay Ridgway, and I will be your sports reporter for the night. Now, we are not in our typical green screen studio up in Flagstaff. We are sidelined here at State Farm Stadium ahead of the Super Bowl on Sunday. Now, amongst all the special things going on with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs facing off, the Kelsey brother matchup is something that is taking over social media. We were able to catch up with them Monday night at opening night to see their thoughts on facing each other on the field. Take a look. Travis and Jason Kelsey will be making history on Sunday, and for nothing but because they are the first ever brothers to compete against each other in a Super Bowl. Younger brother Travis says part of what fuels him to be better on the field is knowing older brother Jason is always pushing himself to do the same.
He's fueled me so much just seeing him compete on the field and the fire that he puts in and how much passion he has for the guys around him. He taught me a lot on how to be a great teammate.
Asked about how this game day will be different from the rest of their matchups, Jason Kelsey said this.
Probably see him a little bit. Our parents are going to be here, my mom's going to be here, but it might be a little bit more confrontational this week than usual.
Closing, Jason said that without their community growing up in Ohio, both brothers would not be where they are today.
We truly had an unbelievable upbringing in Cleveland Heights, and both of us being here is a direct reflection of the outstanding community and neighborhood that we have grown up.
The entire valley is buzzing with all the events going on this weekend. Ava Nichols is in downtown Phoenix to show us some more of what's going on.
Thanks, Lindsay. I am inside the Super Bowl Experience Play 60 Kids presented by Lowe's, where 1,000 kids from around the valley have been selected to try out a variety of drills and other tests, and also have a photo opportunity with 56 previous Super Bowl rings and the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Let's take a look around. With 3 floors full of 4th through 6th graders and NFL players, cheerleaders, and mascots, feeling the energy and excitement was not hard. All right, I found some very enthused kids. What are your guys' names?
Davion.
Jose. And what was your favorite thing here today?
Seeing the mascots.
The mascots?
Yeah, same.
And I saw you have some signatures on your back. Can you show the camera? You do too? Oh my gosh, how exciting. All right, turn back around for me. And then who do you want to win the Super Bowl?
The Chiefs. Eagles.
Eagles? The Eagles? Do you guys have a final game score?
No.
No? No, not yet. We're just going to let it play out. All right, well, thank you guys. The National Football League's Youth Health and Wellness Initiative works with partners to encourage kids to get active for 60 minutes a day and live a healthy lifestyle.
They were selected through the Arizona Cardinals and the Super Bowl Host Committee, as well as the American Heart Association that's local to the Arizona community. So they work with them consistently, and what better way than to bring them to the Phoenix Convention Center, celebrate what we have going on in Arizona with Super Bowl week.
The Super Bowl Experience will be open at the Phoenix Convention Center from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. tomorrow and Friday, and offers extended hours on Saturday. That's all I have from the NFL Experience Play 60 Kids. Now we're going to switch gears and we're going to have a look with sports reporter Michael Manny about the recurring Super Bowl 57 theme, which is the fact that it's an Andy Reid Bowl as he plays his previous team.
And welcome back to State Farm Stadium in Glendale, the home of Super Bowl 57, or what some are calling the Andy Reid Bowl. Before his time in Kansas City, Andy Reid was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, where he took them to multiple NFC Championship games. Now, 3 of the Eagles' biggest stars, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and Jason Kelce, all 3 members of the 2017 Super Bowl team, were all drafted by Reid. Here's what they had to say about their former coach.
Before Andy Reid began molding Travis Kelce into an all-pro tight end in 2013, he was a mentor figure for older brother Jason, who the Eagles drafted in 2011. He eventually developed into an all-pro center and 2017 champion.
I do stay in touch with Andy. Andy was an incredible, meaningful mentor, coach, and person in my life when I first got into the NFL. He's been really meaningful for my brother. I've obviously seen him multiple times going out to Kansas City and watching their games and watching them try and compete in the last 2 Super Bowls or 2 Super Bowls.
Eagles defensive end Brandon Graham, a first-round pick in 2010, played under Reid for his first 3 seasons. And at that point, he says they had a much different relationship.
I had him as a young guy, so I really didn't get to talk to him as much, because young guys, you don't really get to talk to the head coach, especially them old school coaches. You got to earn your right to be able to have a conversation with them. So I'm happy I was able to earn my right to have a conversation with them.
Now a Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion, Graham emphasized how grateful he was for his former head coach after getting to reunite with him this week.
I'm always indebted to him because he gave me my opportunity in this league. He believed in me to draft me in the first round, and I know that I've seen him, win one, not with me, but when I got to talk to him after he won one, because I haven't seen him since he left, it was good. It was definitely good to reminisce.
As Jason prepares to face Reid, he similarly expressed nothing but gratitude for the man that started him on his NFL path.
Really fortunate to have gotten to know him. Consider it an honor to have been drafted by such a legendary coach, and I guarantee Brandon and Fletch feel the same way.
Michael Manny, NAZ Today.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight from sports from down here at State Farm Stadium, but we will see you at 6:15 on Friday for the special Super Bowl edition of The Overtime.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Seeing some very sunny skies with chances of clouds on Saturday and Sunday. But with these sunny skies in the forecast, the spring season is just around the corner. But that's not the only season that we here at NAZ Today love.
That's right, it is Girl Scout cookie season, and this year they have a new cookie, Raspberry Rally. It's their newest edition, but don't worry, they still have all the classics such as Thin Mints, Do-si-dos, and truffle oils. But we are all debating which cookie is the best. Matt, which is your favorite?
Me personally, my favorite is the Smoa. It always has been. It is a classic, it is traditional, and I just will always love it for sure. Michaela, how about you?
See, Matt, I would love to join you with that, but unfortunately, I'm allergic to coconut, so I'm going to stick with my traditional Thin Mint. Tori?
Well, I am a big chocolate and peanut butter person, so I am a huge fan of the tag-along cookies. But that is up for debate, and we can't reach a consensus, so we are at a crossroad. Definitely check us out on social media and vote on which cookie is your favorite. That is NAZ Today _. And we will have more Super Bowl content coming up as well, so check out our YouTube and our other social medias. Have a good night, you guys.